Good morning. How's everybody doing? Got a bit of some fun stuff going on. Hey, that did something good. Hey, I'm doing okay. I'm doing well. Yesterday was Valentine's Day, as many of you are aware. And um, one of the suggestions that has that I would make if you want to impress on things like Valentine's Day and stuff like that is just learn to make a simple pasta sauce from scratch, and it doesn't even have to be that big of a deal. You can use canned tomatoes, tomato paste, whatever. Um, but I made a lasagna with a homemade pasta sauce yesterday for my wife and daughters, and they loved it. It wasn't too difficult to do, but um, just spending some time making a pasta sauce and then a pasta, super easy, but it scores points every time. So that's my suggestion for everybody. Um, is as you're as just learn to make a simple pasta sauce. It's really easy to do, and it will help quite a bit. Import rules. Packages Angular Dino source styles SCSS. So we got some weird stuff going on here. Um, Saying that import rules are deprecated. So no time on cooking, all time spent on coding. I get you, Ola. One of the things, people often ask, if you couldn't be a coder, what would you be? I think I would enjoy being like a chef of some sort. There's a lot of the same amount of science and creativity in cooking involved with coding. And so they seem to treat my brain seems to treat them the same. And so this is interesting. So we're getting a warning that the import rules are deprecated. And we've also got some weird stuff going in here that, hey, it doesn't know what these are. Um, when it did the build, we didn't get the we didn't get that's very interesting. We didn't get the DaisyUI stuff. So obviously I've done something wrong here. Um, Following the upgrade instructions here. So we've got our post CSS. Oh, do I have post CSS? That's a good one to look for. Package.json. Let's find post. See it. It's there. So post CSS is there. I know Daisy is there. If we look for Daisy, it's there. Tailwind is right here. And then Tailwind slash post CSS slash post CSS is there. So we've got the packages that it's recommending, but I'm curious if they're in the wrong place. So if we take a look, this is the styles.scss for, what is this one for? This is for full stack dynos, the Angular dynos. So this is the styles SCSS. There's a couple of things. I was experimenting with mutations, and I'd also like to have on success and on error callbacks for with resource as well. Oh, so man, you're bringing some stuff to mind, and I was doing some lookups on a code base recently, and it said that we should be using resource more often. Um, as I was using the which one was I using? I think I was using Claude to do it. It might have been Gemini, one of the two. But it said that you should use resource more readily, and the with mutations package and then the with resource package in NGRX Signal Store in the NGRX extensions, both very, very impressive libraries. That's why I want to get this to a place where we can start doing more advanced stuff with it. It's fascinating to me to see that. So we're obviously missing something here. I'm curious if I just do a find for Tailwind. So that's in the styling RC, our packages, our README, yarn, styles has Tailwind in it. And that's just the implementation plan. So yeah, Tailwind only exists in one place. And it's here. So let's go take a look at Tailwind. So tailwindcss.com. And let's go to the docs, and so it's the installation. We do this. So we install Tailwind, post CSS, and so we've got these packages installed. Add Tailwind to your post CSS configuration. I'm missing a post CSS thing. Is there a post CSS? I'm not seeing it. Oh man, one of my eyes is a bit red today and itchy. So if we look at this, where is post CSS configured? That might be the problem we've got. Let's see if we can find plugins. So there's an ESLint plugin. These are just the skills files. Webpack config. App module. Let's, Tailwind's always just a little bit of a strange duck. Man, I don't know what's going on with my eye. Hey Ryu, we are upgrading. We're Ryuk. Ryuk. Actually, that is who's Ryuk? I know that name from something. But we are in the middle of upgrading a project that we built a while ago, full stack dinosaurs. Yeah, that's the problem. Right now we're trying to upgrade our Tailwind from version 3 to version 4. Yeah, that would be nice for resources in general, but I think adding that to with resource. And the cool thing, Ola, is you could create your own plugin. So you could actually provide with resource. So you could create, with success error resource or something like that, right? And that resource could provide the with resource, and then you could add your own stuff to it so that you've got the error and other stuff with your resource. Yeah, this one is tough with Tailwind, but let's do npx nx serve Dino's API. So let's get the API up and going. So this should serve, that's the other piece that, so we got our debugger and everything listening. So now let's see just how bad I've broken anything. So let's serve our Angular dinos. Now let's just see what I've broken. I do know that right now Daisy is not running. So this could be pretty ugly. Wait a second. Yeah. Oh, this is hideous. We've completely lost all of our styles. But maybe the amazing toolkit team can implement it. And that's the other possibility, right? Is we could potentially wait for them to do it. So for some reason, the import for Tailwind is not working. So let's go here and let's just see. Let's go to nx dot. Let's see nx Tailwind 4 upgrade, because I think I remember something. So we got the dev dependencies. Let's go here and let's search for Tailwind. Using Tailwind CSS with Angular. So that is the same thing we're looking at here. Tailwind CSS version 4. Oh. So Yuri has added a Tailwind sync. So in the project JSON there, and then in package JSON. So interesting. Let's look at Tailwind with Angular here and see. So we install this. So it looks like we do need this post CSS rc.json. Let's create this. This might be our problem. So let's go here, and I think it needs to be in the root with all the rest of it. So let's just add it here. Okay. Let's go here and so this is .post CSS rc.json. And inside of here, we can paste this in. Let's add that. And now let's see. Let's go ahead and kill this. Let's see if it works better now. Because we need to see Daisy run. I'm not seeing Daisy in here. I accidentally built it instead of this. Oh, we've got some better stuff going on. I don't know why we're triggering Angular Sass. I haven't used SCSS in a long time. I'm also curious about, so it looks like it doesn't like our Angular typography stuff right now. So let's go ahead and close this. For right now, let's comment this out. And let's see. I'm going to probably need some source stuff in here too. Yeah, I probably not SCSS, and that's what I'm wondering too. I don't know why I've got an SCSS file here. I don't need it. So let's try fixing that issue. So the first thing I want to do is just find the styles.scss, right? So our skills files we don't need. Our project.json is referencing it here, so let's make this a CSS file. So there we go. There's our post CSS file. And then over here, let's go to our styles.scss. And I apologize if things are difficult to see. Let's go ahead and rename this to just CSS. And let's see what happens in that case. So we've renamed that. Let's go ahead and break out of this. And let's go ahead and serve again. So it's still giving us an issue with typography not being properly exported. So we'll figure this one out later. We're using that one for like our H1s and stuff. Hey, we've got Daisy in there. So we're seeing Daisy show up now that we've moved over to CSS, but now it's saying global styles. Angular styles. Is it at Tailwind CSS? I think this plugin needs to be that, right? Does that work? I'm trying to remember all of the stuff here, and it just... So again, we get to Daisy, but it doesn't know input bordered. Is it at Tailwind CSS? No, it's not, and it... So it doesn't know the Tailwind CSS typography. Yeah, I've got that post CSS. Where is it? Let's see. So I've got the post CSS. Where is that one? Yeah, there's my post CSS RC. Post CSS RC.json. And inside of this project.json, we should have styles in here, right? Angular dynos. Oh, this is a GQL. It's not the one we want. Oh, am I putting this in the wrong place? Oh, here's my app. And here's my styles.css. But it's just not recognizing the import for Tailwind.css, and I'm not sure what is causing that. So with Tailwind, we create that, we add that, import Tailwind CSS. Let's just see if, without the plugin, does this one work? The thing that this got me a little bit concerned is that the applies aren't working either. Oh man, it just froze again. Oh, there we go. Wait, what's going on here? There we go. So it can't apply the utility class label. You know, let's comment this stuff out and see. And we'll add the daisy back in because that one seemed to be working. We'll see if we can fix that stuff up. Oh, hey, look at that. I think you were onto something. Check Angular JSON. Is it correct file import there? Let's check the Angular JSON. If we go take a look here and we refresh, so we're in a better place, but it's definitely not right. So let's add this in. Let's see if that breaks anything. So typography is not exported under the conditions that. So that let's try talking. So maybe this one needs the at. Let's see what happens there. That looks like a better, oh, hey. There we go. So if we click on dynos, things are looking better. We don't have our hover effects. This stuff is messed up too. So let's see what causes that, right? Actually, at this point, let's I want to fix our labels. And no, we want the agent view back. Open agent manager, that's not the one we want. View. How do I get my agent view back? I'll worry about that later. So let's go here. And let's put these back, but let's comment them out individually. So is it the at apply? That's the issue. If we take this out, and now let's just terminate this. And let's serve it again and just see what happens, because all of those errors went away when we removed the add apply rules. So Daisy is building. There's that. Fascinating. So that rule is working. So let's see if this rule works also. Okay, there we go. Cannot apply unknown utility class input bordered. So that one's got an issue. That one works. So now if we go back and take a look at things, and so we've got some stuff going on. Oh, this is frustrating, but we're in a better place. So I think the other piece we're missing. So input bordered is the part with the problem. So let's go take a look at our Tailwind. And inside of here, input dash bordered. Inputs with borders. Let's just go back to the docs. Oh, this is Tailwind Plus. Is it Daisy that provides the input bordered? There's the actions, feedback, data input. Input field. So yeah, it doesn't have the input dash bordered anymore. Neutral, primary, secondary. So this is just input. Label inside. Ghost style. So the input bordered doesn't exist anymore in Daisy. So now let's see here. Let's just make sure that everything builds properly. Let me make sure after that freeze, do we still have, yeah, we're good. Okay. So that all looks good. So here, hey, I mean, our inputs look better, but we've got some issues going on. We've got some other issues going on because we don't have our SCSS files in place. And there was this piece here where Yuri has this tool, NX Tailwind Sync. So we need a sync generator in our build and our serve targets. So let's go ahead and add this. So we'll terminate this, and then we'll yarn add, and then we'll add this. Because we're gonna, if we take a look at, like, anti-gravity says here, right, Dino UI, UI components, and that. And this was actually a wrong comment by me. We need these, but I'm curious if we can get Yuri's thing to work. Wait, project.json? Do I need to make changes to both? So here in my project.json, so we've got our build, and according to how this works, so we've got our executor, and then we've got sync generators. So in our build, there's our executor. Do we have sync generators already? No. So let's go ahead and grab this and here we'll add it right after our executor. Boom. So there's one sync generator. The other one goes here in the serve. Whoops. So let's do that, and then let's just make sure that it all works. So here we're going to do npx nx build angular dash dynos, and let's just see if it builds everything. Yes, sync them and keep them up to date. Cool. So it found some stuff. So there we go. So our styles is okay. So let's run this for the serve. That's a nice little utility. I'm curious what it did for my so there we go. Let's go take a look at our application now. It's still ugly. So did it update our source stuff? Let's go take a look here. So we added post CSS. We updated that. In project, we added the sync generators, and the sync generators are using Yuri's tool. We changed styles.scss to styles.css. And inside of here, it is adding source ... DinoUI, DinoGraphQL, OpenAI, ArcsJS. Okay, so it is adding all the source stuff here. It's interesting that it didn't pick that up as a rename, but who cares? We removed the Tailwind and the yarn lock. So let's take a look at some of this stuff. Let's build everything from scratch with Hono.js. Check the Angular JSON. I mean, this is the difficult stuff with like Tailwind and things like that, is you've got to know what you're doing, and if you don't do it regularly, it might not. So there's that. Like, it's crazy to me that it looks like it's working, but we're getting some just strangeness with our components. So like here, this table used to have a hover effect in it. There's also something weird going on. I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but there's, oh, the chat's over the top of it too, but where this has feathers exists, there's this line here. The other thing, let's just add a dino and save it. Yeah, there's some ugliness going on here. So our description, I think our description needs to be Yeah, at least 3 characters. Um, we'll give it feathers. So that piece is working. Our test stuff is working. This isn't too bad either. There's some weirdness going on here. Let's clean some of this up. So we'll turn this off too. Um, is it here where my chat remote extensions testing NX? Um, there we go. No, that's not what I want. How do I pin this to the side? See, I want this pinned to the side. I don't want it here. Um, Normally a pop out like this would be fine. But open chat with agent. There we go. There we go. This is what we wanted. And there we go. Okay. That's how I can do it. So we've got this. Let's go. So if we take a look at our Angular stuff, right? Let's see what's going on here. It's like this table. There's some weird styling going on here with the table, and it would be nice to fix that styling. We've got this weird border stuff going on here. We don't have the hover effect that we used to have. Like some of it's here, some of it's not. But it would be good to have it all here. So, and I think this was in a different place too. So let's pull open. Can we take a look at our, that's the Redux Dev Tools. More tools. Oh, I think the Angular stuff is in the F12 menu, right? So here's our Angular stuff. And let's pop this out, separate window. here we go. So right now we're looking at the injectors. Let's take a look at our components. And you know what? Let's dock this to the right-hand side so that we can look at this, right? So here's our header. It seems to be okay. Our route to home seems to be okay. The full stack dynos home, that seems to be okay. The add button, it looks okay. Our buttons have good stuff going on, but the table, so it's the full stack dynos table that we want to take a look at. And this is the really cool thing I like about the Angular tools, right? Is they give us the ability to figure out, like, before these tools, you used to have to go in and look at the source code and try and track this stuff down. But with this, it's just so much easier. The other thing we can do is we can, get information about destroy refs that are in place. We could look at the injected services. We can also see the properties on the table and cool stuff like that. So there's a lot of information here. Our profiler, we can take a look at that later. But I do want to take a look at this full stack dynos table. So let's take a look at, I want Control P, full dyno table. There's our dynos table component. So right off the bat, I can tell we've got some weird stuff going on here. We're using an SCSS file. Well, let's fix this really quick. We don't need this SCSS file, so we're going to delete this. And instead of style URL, we're just going to add styles. And inside of here, should be able to add that, get that formatted. And so now when we look at it, it's still a display block. Everything's looking good. We'll go ahead and close this for a bit. We still don't have the hover. So let's see what's going on with our table. So it's a full stack dynos table. It's a zebra table. It's a table. And I guess that button was always there, so that's fine. Yeah, so we've got the hover and the cursor pointer. So it must be something with Daisy that's changed. Let's go take a look at Daisy really quick and take a look at our table stuff. So here's our table. Table with a bordered background, table with an active row, table with a row that highlights on hover. Here's zebra table, but table with a row that highlights on hover. Table with visual elements. Table with pinned rows. Table with pinned rows and pinned columns. So it looks like we just want the hover and then a BG base. Did it have a hover on it? So we gave it the cursor pointer, but hover, what is a BG primary / 20? Like it's a 20% opacity on primary. Um, oh, that's not bad. Not bad at all. But I think we could go a bit lighter on that. We could go with maybe even like a 10% opacity on that. And let's just break out of this. And I mean, I may be remembering it wrong. So there we go. Even 10% is more than I want. Let's go with even like a 5%. Opacity is probably subtle enough. We just want it to draw the attention. And a 5% seems to be good. Oh, I've got it turned off. I do have it set to dark mode. I'm curious about light mode. I think we can do that here in the style editor. No. Accessibility. Um, Not that one. It's not the console. Let's see. It's Control T. Firefox. Set prefers light in testing. So it's in the dev tools. Oh, it's right there at the top. Of course it is. So it would be in the inspector. No, it's not. The console. Let's dock this to the bottom again. Here it is right here, but what's this one? So in my inspector, okay, there we go. So with a light color scheme, that 5% is probably too light. Let's turn off the light color scheme. There's the buttons right there I was looking for. So A 5% is probably too light. 10% is probably fine. So here it looks fine. If we go to a light color scheme, yeah, it looks fine. Great. So we have fixed that piece. Well, I don't even know if it was there, but there is this column here that's not lining up, and I'm not sure what's going on with that. So let's make sure that we take a look at so this is a flex. We did a place content center. But let's try height full. Is it just H full? Let's see what this does. That's not doing anything. So let's go ahead and inspect this one. So it's got the class flex. So my TD is not the same height as everything else. So like this one here, okay, if we take off the display flex, it is the right height. But as soon as we do the display flex, it's not the right height. So I think what we need to do is instead of trying to do height full, if we do flex dash grow, or is it just grow 1? That's not right. You know what? Instead of trying to guess, I need to get better at this. Let's go take a look at the Tailwind. We'll take a look at flex. So flex 1. So flex initial, flex auto to allow let's try flex auto. Because we do want it to grow. Flex, well, let's try flex 1. We want it to take up the full space. No. It's just not recognizing that it needs to be the full height. It's like if we inspect this one, it's only that tall, whereas the rest are the... So flex 1 is not what we're looking for. Let's try flex auto. Not right either. because we could take, if we take this out, it looks okay, but it's not in the right place. And we were using Flex Center to do it. Because like if we take a look at this, if we inspect it, we can see it's in the top left. And so we were using the flex to place it. We're using the place content center. Can I just do this? The following is not the same height as rest of row. Why is that? And can I not do a chat right here? Here we go. This column is not the same height as the rest of the row. How can I fix it? Instead of struggling, let's just see what it says. And this, I think, is the big benefit of just AI in general, right? Prioritizing code fix. And we could take a look at this. So it's analyzing the TD height, and that's the issue, is that the TD, because of the flex, is only suggesting a layout fix perfect. Oh, see, that's what I was thinking to do. So this isn't what I want to see, but what it's saying, I've updated the implementation plan to respect the preferences for keeping library styles. We'll explore the Tailwind this. Regarding the Tailwind, the issue is that applying display flex directly to a TD often breaks table row height, right? And apply to fix. Kept the TD as a standard table cell and wrapped the content in a div flex. And this is, I was hoping to avoid this. That was what I was thinking to do, but I was hoping to avoid it. fix flex on a TD cell, not respecting height of row. Just curious about this. So this is in Stack Overflow from 3 years ago. This bug that we're fixing now was probably there for a while. Ooh, float, no. The height of a flex element is not respected unless display table is set. That's not what I'm looking for. A 100% height doesn't work within a flex item in a flex item child. Not what we're looking for. Table cell height issue. That's for a specific library. Can I fix it with I mean, we may just cheat and do min height 100. I think it's just full, right? Is it not min height 100? Does that change it at all? Oops. Oh, heck yeah, that really changes it. Wow. That is definitely not what we're looking for. What did I do here? Inspect. So min height 100. Can I not set the min height to be 100%? So min height 100, bad choice. But min height full, maybe, yeah, min height full doesn't do anything. We could do text center. I think that's going to, that does nothing. Okay. It's time to just cut our losses. And let's do a div here. Yep. There we go. All right, but it's still not right. It's still not right because the div is not 100%. So if we go height 100%, min height 100%. Yeah, it's not respecting that. I could do like min height to rem, right? Now if we look at that div, there's something really interesting going on here because what if I just do min height 0? What if I do flex grow 1? Nothing. It's definitely a flex element, but here, if we do flex grow 1, nothing. What if we do flex shrink 0? Still nothing. Like it's weird that like if I do a min height of like 20 pixels, and let's turn off that flex grow. See, as soon as that height gets to be above a certain amount, it actually moves. So let's instead of do that, let's do grid. Make it a display grid here, and let's refresh. And we'll go ahead and inspect this. There's my TD. My div is still small. Let's do height 100%, and then min height 100%, and it's still not growing. So let's do like 2 rem. So it's a display grid. Now it's not growing. Oh, that's because I'm doing it on the TD, not the div. So let's take both of these off. And on the div, let's do height 100%, min height 100%. So we are a display grid. We do have the items placed in the center, and we can see that. But we can see that is not growing at all. Let's try 2rem here again. So now it's moving the entire thing. But these things are bottom aligned. So now we can see that at least it's not pushing things out of this cell. Oh, it is when we get to a certain height. And then it starts to grow. I don't know. So if we take a look at this vertical line, baseline, center. There it is, vertically aligned on the bottom. Oh, there we go. Inherits. That moves it to the center, but it messes with everything else. The thing that makes me wonder what's going on here. So there's the div. Why is everything around it changing? Like when I move that to the center, it jumps the entire row around. Let's it's saying to do this. That messes things up again. So it needs to be place content center. And here we'll just do class equals v-align middle. And let's see what that does for us. I guess we could vertically align the button to the middle also. Or do we just, I don't know. This is where it becomes a bit weird. Maybe we'll just take the vertical align out and just leave it as the place item center. And we'll go back to the flex. So flex this and that, and so I've changed my workflow to involve using Claude plus Figma make recently to help my front end. It's by far my biggest weak spot. It's accelerated me a lot on project, but feels like cheating. Or will it take it as the CSS struggles are real? I totally agree with you here. The CSS struggles can be very real. And I guess having that at the top is fine. It's just weird that we're just getting some weirdness here, and I don't want to spend too much time on it, so we'll call this good as is. And we're just gonna let the AI determine what we did, commit that and push it. And so the last piece that we want here, then we're gonna call our CSS done, right? So this all looks good. If we go edit a piece, this looks okay. Let's edit. I think T-Rex has nope. Is it Triceratops? There we go. It's got trivia. The trivia looks a little bit weird, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and edit this. This piece, or this one right here, just looks weird. Everything else looks good for the most part. It's this one. And so if we go back to our Angular stuff, it's our UI text area that's our problem. It's just not following the proper styling. So let's go ahead and fix that, and then we're going to call this good. So let's find our UI, or let's just find our text area component. And for right now, it's reactive forms. We've got the label. Oh, so we've got an alt label, and then we've got our text area, and then we've got error text. Our component is using SCSS. We don't need this, so let's go ahead and delete it. Which means we can take out the style URLs. But let's help it. Let's try making it. Yeah, we'll try making it a display block. Actually, we don't need this either. We can actually take this out. And instead, on our text area component here, oh, we do have a form control class on it. So it's probably, again, a change to Daisy that we missed. So let's go take a look at our Triceratops, get into edit mode. Let's take a look at our Daisy. And text area. Nope, we need a form control. Form control. Let's just look for it. Form. Oh, there we go, with form control and labels. So it's changed. In the past, you added the form control, but now we add field set legend. So it's changed to be field set. It's like this one has a field set around it. Do these all have form control on them? And is form control just being ignored? So we could take a look at like this. If we inspect it, yeah, so we've added this form control, but it's no longer can we add field set to something? Field set. That does nothing either, right? So if I inspect this, I'm curious. I'm looking at, so like if we do field set legend, layer utilities, DaisyUI, field set legend. Okay, so the class is the field set. So it's just been changed. So if we go back to the text area component here, instead of form control, this now becomes field set. And the label is a class. Well, let's just see what that does for us. If we go back to our input, hey, so already it's getting better. So now if we take a look at our Daisy, so we've got the class field set, the legend. So what I've got is label now becomes field set label, or well, I can just add the field set legend. Then I can add a class equals label to the rest of it. Okay. So this, instead of being a label, this is a field set dash legend. And I don't think that the label alt text exists anymore. So does this, that's better. Let's go take a look at Daisy and see if there is a label alt text. I'm not sure how it looked before, let's be honest. But let's take a look at Label, components, navigation, feedback, data input, label. There's label and floating label. Hmm. Okay. So we could change our labels to be floating labels. Um, and then this can exist after the text area. And this will just be class equals label, and we can even make it a p tag instead. So there we go. And then all of this can be moved inside of this. Maybe not. But this can be let's give it a shot. So class equals floating label and then the span. So here, class equals floating dash label, not gloating label, floating dash label. And let's see what we get now. Hopefully it looks better. So there we go. Oh, interesting. So we need a placeholder to be the description. So here we can also have a placeholder equals placeholder. We'll make this placeholder display protected, read only placeholder display equals computed. Perfect. Let's make sure we bring in the computed. So there we go. And now we can make this placeholder display. So now if we go take a look at it, Oh, come on. Well, let's take a look. Const placeholder equals this dot placeholder. Label text equals that. And what I want to do is just console.log placeholder, and we're going to throw in label text and placeholder or label text. And let's just see what that gives us. So now if we take a look at our console here, So the placeholder should be description. That or, so we got placeholder display. We got placeholder display there. Let's just add a pre-tag display, and here is placeholder display. So let's just see. Yeah, it's got description. Let's go back and add a dyno. So it should be description. The text inputs not get a placeholder. Interesting. Let's inspect this. No, it's giving it empty. So like if we make this placeholder description, now it's there. So according to this, if we take a look at our console, so the placeholder is an empty string description. And even up here, that is so weird. I'm not sure why. So like in the pre, these should be the same. Oh, they are. Oh, they are. They are. They are. I'm missing it here. That's my problem. There we go. So now, there we go. So one other thing we want to do. So our labels all have text secondary. We're going to change this. So now anything with a class of label has a text secondary. So add the label class there. The label class is there. So now if we take a look at this, there we go. That looks good. And now when it jumps up, it gets the color. But when we type into it, it looks good. If we get an error, the errors are there. However, we need to fix some spacing here. Because there's too much spacing here. The reason is that there's a top and bottom. So if we look at this P class, where is the margin? There we go, margin top and bottom. So if I make these not pros, yeah, if I make this P tag not pros, and I also think, yeah, that's all fine. So now if we take a look at this and we refresh it, now it looks okay. Yeah, so that's a lot better. One thing we need to do is make that input take up the full width. It should be the full width. So let's take a look at that. Text area let's just inspect and see why it's not. So if we inspect this, so if on that text area, here we add width dash full, there we go. So the last thing we're not getting is we're not getting the error here. So we're not getting the error highlight. So the question is why? So if we inspect this, so we've got the error class in here, but our text area is not getting the error border. So if we look at this one, for example, this input has an error on it. And that error is giving it the border color. This input, text area, height, width, it does have the error on it. But we aren't getting the error from the styles. Okay.